Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello and welcome, everyone. I'm so darn glad that you're with me today. 8 a.m. Eastern on the 9th day of July, 2014. And thank you to award-winning artist David Martinka for joining us. Find his music at redbellymusic.com and sunshadows.net. Lots of great free downloads there, as well as many wonderful CDs to purchase. And why would you want to purchase great music? I don't know. I love music. I purchase it all the time. I'm your host, Annette, Rochelle, Aben. The show is Attitude of Gratitude, and we come to you live every Wednesday at this time, 8 a.m. Eastern here, blogtalkradio.com/perspectivepower. You can also follow the show at Facebook, facebook.com/perspectivepower. And by doing that, I get to know you a little better, you get to know me a little better, and I think it's all hot rockin' and flamethrowing. It's a lot of fun. So what are we doing today? I posted that we were going to talk about affirmations, and we are. And I hear a lot of people say things to me about affirmations that let me know that they're a bit confused about them. Because when a lot of people think about affirmations, what they tell me goes through their mind. I can't say it's exactly what it does because I'm not in their minds. Although a lot of people think I am, I'm not. Okay, what people are telling me is going through their minds when they say affirmations is that it's just kind of a fun thing to say, to sound hip, to sound like you're part of the crowd, to sound like what you're doing is trendy, okay? And really it's not if you think about it. The whole idea behind affirmations is a declaration of truth. Now, here's the interesting thing. Most people have been using affirmations their entire life, and they just don't realize it. They just didn't know that that's what they were doing. Why do I say that? Because you can hear people talk all the time, saying things over and over and over again, and then you watch them happen. Like the person that always talks about accidents, or the person that always talks about poverty, or the person that always talks about sickness, and the next thing you know, they've had an accident, they're sick, whoops of stuff has been going on. Well, those are affirmations because they are saying these things as though they are their truth, and as a result, that truth will manifest. Now, affirmations aren't just words, the declaration of a truth. They're also the feeling and the energy that we put into it as well. So sometimes people can say things and not necessarily make them come true. And they can say them over and over and over and over and over again, like, I'm going to win the lottery, I'm going to win the lottery, I'm going to win, it's like, okay, you just do that little thing. And they never do, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, you're just a bunch of hot air. Well, when you say the words, make the declaration with a very, very strong feeling attached to it, like you just know, bless your heart, you just know, and you feel it inside, and you really own it, and you wrap yourself around it, through it, and take care of it in the whole 9 yards. That is the fuel that ignites that little pile of affirmations and makes them absolutely, positively powerful. And when I say powerful, I mean powerful, full of power. So when you are sitting there stating your affirmation, making a list in your head of all the things that you believe are going to happen and the way you think they're going to happen, when you add to it the feeling, the powerful feeling, yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what happens. So, part of the reason I do the show and I talk a lot about affirmations is because people really and truly ought to be able to take that same energy, that same power, that same connection, and use it for something that they really, 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 really want to have happen. Now, maybe some of the stuff that you and I would look at and go, okay, a little off my radar, but whatever. Maybe they do want that to happen. Maybe they do want a week and a half off work. Maybe they do want to be totally at the mercy of somebody else. They want somebody taking care of them. There's a lot of songs that I've noticed I stopped listening to because when I sing the song lyric over and over and over and over again, I realize that even though I really like the song, when I'm singing that lyric and I'm really getting into it like I'm a boss and I'm out on that stage with that microphone and I'm belting it out to that 40,000 person crowd, that's an affirmation, whatever that song is. So I find myself listening to a lot of songs anymore that have lyrics that I want to affirm, I want to put my energy into. So you might think I should have titled this Music and Affirmations today because, well, you know what, we'll do a whole show on that because I'll write down some of the songs that I think have really, really positive lyrics that if you listen to them and really get into them, you're going to find yourself just transported. So I'm going to jump off that because maybe that'll be next week's show. Affirmations, musical affirmations, and an attitude of gratitude. But the thing is that you can be grateful for the energy that you put into affirmations because they really do manifest in our life. They really do. The truth of affirmations and an attitude of gratitude, which is the title of the show, is that when you affirm that which you want to have, I'm just going to repeat that again, when you affirm that which you want to have and you feel it, it's a declaration of truth. You ever notice somebody when they really think they're right, they're in the middle of a discussion, or let's say I've worked in all different types of jobs. Many have been corporate jobs, many have been, private sector or independent contractor type of jobs, and then some little mom and pop organizations. So it's, I've run the gamut of different options and opportunities. And when you really believe that you're right about something, boy, oh buddy, like watch a little kid. They stand there, their feet firmly planted on the ground. They don't break their gaze. They look right at you and they tell you, this is the way it is. You can tell by the way they're standing. You can tell by the tension in their body and the tone in their voice, the look in their eye. They are feeling that truth all the way through themselves. Now, do they declare that that's the truth? Bet your bottom dollar they do. Do they defend that truth with every fiber of their being? You bet your bottom dollar they do. Do they make it be a reality in their life? Yes, they do. Why? Because they declared it, they feel it, they own it, and they have an unwavering attachment to it that, poof, produces it. There it is, right there in front of everybody. And the beautiful thing about it is when that is set around something that brings you happiness, that brings you joy, that brings you a feeling that you want to replicate over and over and over and over again, it's all there. That is the truth of affirmations. And when we're grateful for what we're asking for, when we're grateful for the opportunity to even have the mindset that brings that in, that gives us that fabulous energy, then the awesome power within all of that is that we find ourselves able to replicate it, able to apply this to any circumstance in our life, to our finances, our health, our living conditions, our love life, our work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can be passionate about ladybugs, and you can be talking about ladybugs and all over the place, ladybugs, 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 ladybugs. And the next thing you know, you're going to start manifesting ladybugs. Well, you're really digging on them. Oh, you didn't want the ladybugs because they're eating your leaves and your plants in your garden. I see what you did here. Well, then quit talking about them. Quit talking about them with the feeling that makes the ladybugs think you want them, because it's magnetic. It's the ladybugs don't know that you don't want them in your garden. The ladybugs just hear you calling to them, kind of like a long-lost lover, calling out across the cliffs and the moors of some smoky Scottish shoreline. Did that conjure up images of a romance novel cover? Probably. Well, in any case, by the way, Tawny Taylor, who is a fabulous romance novel writer, is my cousin. So if you want to go check out some of her really cool books, look her up, Tawny Taylor. And just thought I'd throw in that shameless plug right there because, hey, we're talking about romance novels. What the heck? But then again, many of them are available on Kindle. But anyway, I think her whole library is. All right, I'm totally off the subject now. But you see what I mean? When you get to talking about something, it's very casual, it's very innocent, and yet because there is so much out there that you can put that emotion to, that you can put that energy with, that is what you're going to draw to you. So the crazy thing about it is talking, like they say, talk is cheap. Got it? My good buddy Andy Dooley, absolutely love this guy. He's the master at manifestation. His whole thing is feeling first, manifestation second. And what I've just been saying actually echoes that. When you tie that great feeling, that huge attraction, that intensity into what you're doing, you will manifest. But you don't get it until you put the feeling into it. So now, bringing that wagon full circle and parking it in front of the OK Corral, what is it you want to manifest? What is it that you want in your life so much that when you think about it, it's just there? I mean, ice cream cone, you can taste it, you can see it, you can smell it. You're just, oh, man, me and summer and ice cream and yum. Or let's say it's the new vehicle. Let's say you've been looking at that Cadillac, whatever it is, or you've been looking at that, I don't know, you fill in the blank of some vehicle that you really, really want. Maybe you just want an old beater pickup truck because you want to go haul wood or something. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be a top-of-the-line anything. It just has to be top-of-the-line to you. Let's say that what you really, 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 really want, what do you want? What do you really, really want? Is to have the career of your dreams. When you get into the feeling energy of all these things, you feel like you're driving it, you feel like you've got everything you're looking for, you feel like you're living in the house you want to live in, you feel like you're working in the career that you want. Imagine it, see it, feel it, get close to it. If you want to work, let's say, at a burger joint, walk by that burger joint, hang out at that burger joint, walk in there one day and order a burger and sit there and imagine, close your eyes for a second, that you're back there flipping those burgers and serving those burgers. Maybe it's the vehicle. They let you test drive things a lot of times, so, if you're one of them trustworthy people, go test drive your vehicle. Walk through the showrooms. Go to the auto shows. Look up used car ads. Drive by used car lots. People love lookers because sometimes lookers turn into buyers. Get into the feeling energy of all of that and keep that feeling every time you're picturing in your mind's eye that thing, that item, that situation that you want to have, and let that feeling roll through you. And as you say, this is my job, this is my car, this is my whatever, this is my reality, get into the feeling as you put the two together. That declaration of truth, that power-filled statement is going to draw to you, manifest that thing that you've been looking for, and that is the truth of affirmation. And the gratitude is the feeling. They go hand in hand, affirmations and gratitude. So now that you know, now that you've got that, now that that's just all there and you know what's going on, try it. Let me know. Perspective Power on Facebook, Perspective Power on Blog Talk Radio. Leave me a message. Let me know what's happening. Also, too, let David Martinka know what's going on. You can visit his website at redbellymusic.com as well as sunshadows.net. And, of course, you can find me on my blog, website, whichever it works for you. It's AnnetteRochelleAben.wordpress.com. I'd like to connect with you there, just like I do every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Eastern, live here at Blog Talk Radio, when we talk about an attitude of gratitude.